Coming up on this week's episode of Hold All Tickets, it was a really big week for the self-inserters. Plenty of votes dished out in the self-trumpeters. And Adam, fresh off nailing his best value last week, has another one at big odds in Sydney for us this Saturday.
I think I found another one at $15. That's what it's paying at the moment, so pretty keen on it.
Tune in now, Hold All Tickets. Welcome to this week's edition of Hold All Tickets, brought to you by BoomBet. Great fixed odds, more value, more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. I'm your host, James Lamb, joined by Adam Brett off his deathbed. How are we, Adam?
Yep, I've been better. Let's see how we go. I'll try and get through this one.
It's like a doctor's waiting room in our office at the moment. People going down left, right and centre. But no, I'm glad you've come in for the first time this week. You've lifted yourself off the canvas, so just got to get through about 20 minutes.
I can't miss this one.
All right. Very good. It's a bit of a quieter show this week. Queensland Carnival done and dusted, so no group races on the East Coast. We do have the Ipswich Cup though, and punters have a runner-by-runner preview up on the website. Also on our YouTube channel, so check that out. We got Stats Guy to fill in as host for that one, and he did a good job, apart from mispronouncing the leading trainer in Queensland, but that's all right. We won't hold that against him.
Go Lan.
Tony Gallan.
Gallan.
Yeah.
There's a little French twist on that one.
That was nice. We'll start, as we generally do, with the self-trumpeters. But before we do that, shout out to Thoroughbred Sales, who are the number one online horse platform for owners looking to buy a racehorse with over 130 trainers and syndicators to choose from. Horses will also be eligible to run in their new $4 million race series with over 400 races having a bonus. All right, trumpeters time. One vote. Tim Carroll, he's been in the votes quite a bit lately, the last couple of months. Very consistent. Docklands, the OTI-owned galloper, won the Group 1 Queen Anne Stakes under Aussie hoop Mark Zara. And at the races, posted the replay on X. And Tim quote tweeted with, "Delighted for the connections. Won me a lot of money when he won the Britannia Stakes, so no hard feelings despite not having a dime on him today." So unnecessary self-insertion from Tim there. No one cares about the Britannia Stakes.
No.
Anyway, one vote for Tim. One vote also for Mitch Beer, popular trainer based in New South Wales, now on the border. A little gag from Mitch here on X. Me flicking it over to KO to watch the US Open. GF, what time does this go until? Me, Monday. I don't know if you picked up on the little GF there. So just a subtle little I now have a girlfriend trumpet from Mitch. He's always sort of taking the piss out of himself for not having a girlfriend and being a bit of a hopeless single guy. So he's just soft launch and it wasn't missed by his followers. Plenty of comments there.
Photo to follow.
Yeah, potentially. 2 votes. Andrew the Hawk Hawkins.
He's back, finally.
No one self-inserts quite like our man the Hawk. It's why he's one of the most consistent self-trumpeters in the game. A video was posted on X of Frankel winning the Group 1 Queen Anne Stakes with the caption, "The aftermath of the most staggering performance ever witnessed at Royal Ascot." So what do you reckon Hawk did? He got in there and he made it about the Hawk. He tweeted, "I was among those down on the apron as Frankel came back. I've seen some great racehorses, but never seen a horse move like him that day, equine perfection." So that is, I reckon, Hawk's 138th I was there that day tweet. He's always got to get in there and just let people know.
It's good to see him back. I legitimately thought he was in trouble. There might have been some health issues or something because he'd been quiet for too long.
Maybe we just missed him because Alex watches him like a hawk, pardon the pun. But yes, back in the votes. I was going to mention this later, but I've lost the leaderboard, but Alex has it. So when he gets back, I'll make sure he knows that Hawk's been polling in his absence. 3 votes. Jay Shah. This is beyond Hawk in terms of self-insertion. This is Group 1 levels of self-insertion from the ICC chairman, Jay Shah. The ICC put up a 45-second video that was supposed to be highlighting South Africa's win in the World Test Championship over Australia. We saw some shots of the players, a bit of the crowd, some of the celebrations, but mostly it was Jay Shah. So it was a 45-second video. He appeared 11 times in 45 seconds. You'd think that he took 10 for and made a century in both innings, but no, he wasn't playing. He was just watching the game. The comments on the video are quite brilliant. It's worth checking out. Just a couple to read out. I'm new to cricket. Someone explained, did that fat guy play in the final? A rare and inspiring video of Jay Shah highlighting his achievements in international cricket. So it's a good thread. Check that out. 4 votes, finally. Rick McIntosh was calling it Terang on Sunday and did the tips for that race or that meeting. He had Fabalot as his 4th pick in a 10-horse race. This was the end of his race 2 call.
Fabalot's gone all the way. He was probably a handicapping certainty when you think about it.
Probably a handicapping certainty when you think about it. He said that about his 4th pick after the race. So that's very handy post-race expertise from Rick there. I don't know how he's got that as a handicapping certainty when he's had it as his 4th pick. Anyway, that's the Trumpeters for this week. As mentioned, I have lost the leaderboard, but I will have it back next week when Alex returns from what has felt like a 2-month holiday.
He was at Ascot last night. He enjoyed himself. I got a few pictures.
Top hat?
Yeah. He looked very good.
Yeah, very nice. Right, good on him. All right, review of last week. Probably not our worst week.
No, we were pretty solid.
Yeah. We just had to get rid of the guru, get rid of the dead wood. But
That's right.
No, I won't hold that against him. Let's start with you at, it wasn't Eagle Farm, was it? Rosehill?
No, I did Rosehill.
Yep. Best bet, King's Secret.
Didn't run its best race,
No.
but I'm still backing it in on its next run. I saw enough to make me think that next run will be the one that wins.
Did you see enough from changing of the guard?
I did as well.
Really?
Yeah, I did. First up, I was expecting more, but looked over that first 1800 and it was pretty sharp. So I just think it ran out of legs being its first up. So I'll look for a better run next one.
I'm not as convinced there. But this one was good. Don't forget Jack, tipped at $12 on the show, started $6.50.
Yeah, I did say that this one was actually my best bet.
I do remember that. Yep.
And went pretty hard on it. And yeah, it was a pretty good run in the end. So
Is that why you're so sick? Did you just get a little bit carried away?
I did get
Saturday
very
night?
carried away. I did load up, so I was pretty happy.
Very nice. And I should also mention that you tipped Kovalica, much to my chagrin. Well done there. You stuck fat.
1 centimetre.
Yeah, I didn't think it had won live, but no, well done there. And it actually cost me the quaddie too, so that was nice.
So you didn't even back it in the quaddie?
No.
Okay.
No.
Be a fool. That's on you.
Yep. I had Faulkner Park one out. Sandown for me, I had Terra Lee as my best bet. Took the entire straight to get there, but thankfully got the job done. They put an absolute gap on the rest, the first 2. Next best was Aha. That was a real stinker end of prep run. Actually smashed in betting too. Ended up starting in the red, but never really looked like it once presented in the straight. And the best value was Earlswood, tipped at 15. I think it started 11 or 12 and it ran second. I got a little bit excited when it got into the clear late, but the horse out wide, Saban, had all the momentum. It would have been interesting if Earlswood had have got out and running a little bit earlier.
Yep.
But the winner was good.
Winner was good. You were a bit stiff on that one though.
I was a bit disappointed when they restrained early and took a sit behind a bunch of runners. I wasn't happy with that, but got into the clear late and was good for second. All right,
but
time
you did tip War Machine.
I did tip War Machine, yes.
And that was a good tip.
And we'll discuss him a bit later on.
I was impressed.
I was a bit scared when I didn't even know that was Yellow Brick chasing. I was looking at the colours thinking, who the hell is this horse?
I know. And I saw the interview with the trainer just before the race and she was very confident.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh God, this could be something. So I was happy to see it run second.
Yes. All right. Time to stop looking back, reminiscing about last Saturday. Let's look forward. We'll start with the thoughts of our sponsor, BoomBet. Great fixed odds, more value, more boom moments. Sign up today. Get in on the boom. Who was the boom horse this week?
The boom horse this week from BoomBet with the boom odds is Splashback at Flemington race 7. I think it's paying $1.90 currently, but they're offering $4 for Splashback. So that's some pretty good value for only getting $1.90 with everyone else and get $4 with Boom Bet, then definitely worthwhile jumping on.
It's been smashed too since markets first opened. I think it was about $2.60 yesterday when I was doing the form. So good early go for Splashback there. Any early market moves?
There's not a hell of a lot.
Not much.
But a little bit notable. Flemington race 3, Cleo Cat has attracted some smart bets at around $2.60. Flemington race 9. Sharp bets have come for Brave One at $6.10. I'm actually going against that one. And Randwick race 1, we've got, how do you pronounce that? Owen Province has been some interest at around $8.60.
That'll do.
Yep. Close enough is good enough.
Yep.
But that's the main ones.
Very good. All right, we've got no group races, no group tips this week, but as mentioned earlier, you can check out the Ipswich Cup runner by runner on punters. So we'll launch straight into Randwick. Your best bet, one for the great Bjorn Borger.
Bjorn Borger.
Yes.
I have gone again with Raikkonen in race 8, number 1. Currently paying $3.60. We know the class of the horse, so I'm backing it in. If he can't beat this field, I've got real question marks on it. But we know it has the speed and the class to get over this field. Barrier 15 is the only query, but with 1,400 metres, should have enough for him to stay pretty clear and get a good sit with a bit of closing speed there as well.
61 kilos even after the claim. So yeah, it is obviously the class runner. You just want to see it jump and run from out there. What about your next best?
Next best comes in race 2, number 3, Exit Fee. Beautifully drawn Barrier 4. Currently paying $4.50. It's coming off a 16-week spell, but has won a trial during that period. Prior to that, it was running pretty solidly, and I think it will be pretty hard to hold out.
$4.65 as we record, and one at longer odds. Your best value?
The value bet, and after last week, I'm hoping this one gets up as well. I think I've found one here with race 3, number 3, Bengal. It's a really strong, classy horse, this one. It has run at Randwick and won in its last couple of races. It's got really good closing speed, and it's pretty beautifully placed out of Barrier 10. So I'm excited to see what this one brings. I think at $15 it's overs, so I'd expect it shortened a little bit, but you can't knock its form going into this. It'd be just whether it's got the class.
All right, Brodie Loy steering from a wideish gate there for Bengal. Moving to Flemington, it's a pretty good card on Saturday for this time of year. Some very promising horses going around. My best bet goes around in race 3, number 5, Cleo Cat. Incredibly well weighted here. A 94 rater carrying only 54 kilos. Only Midwest, who's rated 97, and Recommendation, who's 103, are rated higher, and they're carrying 57.5 and 60.5 respectively. So she's very well weighted, the mare. 7 from 9 and was beaten by the very talented Niance at listed level last start. That's a horse who I think can be competitive in group races in the spring, Group 1 level. She's only had 3 starts this prep, so still very much on the up. I think she can get the job done again on Saturday. Next best goes around in the previous race, race 2, number 3, Chocolates. Stepped up to this distance last start and absolutely relished it. Powered home from 12th at the 800 to nail the loose leader. The leader was often gone. She grabbed him close to the line. They put 4 lengths on the rest of the field, and I don't think there's any reason why she can't show further improvement 4th up over the same route. Her sire was, of course, Shocking, who was a Melbourne Cup winner at Flemington. Best value. It's a bit of a throw at the stumps, this one. Race 8, number 2, Relentless Voyager. It's around the $21 quote as we record. It's an import first up in Australia, and they can be very much hit and miss at their first run. Mm-hmm. We saw that with Sadati. His first 2 runs were horrific. But I'm hoping this horse, who has been here for quite a while, it was slated to run last spring, but didn't show up there. I think there were some issues with vet checks and whatnot, but it has been here a while. So Kieran Maher's had it. It's had a few trials. Its most recent one over 1,200 was most encouraging. I liked its work through the line and after the line. It was a couple of lengths clear, about 200 metres past the post. Competitive in the Ebor last start and was Group 2 placed prior to that. So it's very handy international form for a mile handicap in winter. It's just where I think whatever it does, it'll improve, but it might just have the class to get into the minor money for us. And I'm doing a little bit of a guru here, a little double.
You've gone double.
Double value
2
play.
best values, okay.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's my best value, but it's one just to keep an eye on in race 9, number 16. It's a yes. Well, it was pretty good first up, and it meets Salsa Fellow 3.5 kilos better for a 1.5 length margin, and always improves second up. So he's one to just keep an eye on it at very big odds in the last race. For qualifiers. So he's around $26. I don't think there's a jockey booked at the moment, so they might be looking to scratch, but I hope they don't. That is the tips for this week. Let's get into the yays and nays. We're in the home stretch here, Adam.
Voice is holding up.
Yeah,
just.
no, you're doing well.
Just.
Horse we mentioned a little bit earlier, War Machine. Yay or nay? He is a legitimate top 3 chance in the Everest.
Yeah.
What say you?
I say yay. After last weekend, I was a bit of a knock beforehand, you know that. But what we saw on the weekend, you can't question it. So I think definitely has the ability and should be a top 3 chance in the Everest.
I'm also yay. I don't think he can beat Ying Rising. I think that horse is on a vastly different level. But if you look at the market as it stands, the next 2 favourites for the race are Briassa and Private Harry, who are both relatively lightly raced horses that have won one Group 1 each, like War Machine. And I wouldn't say that they are clearly better than War Machine, given, or based on what we've seen so far. So I think you could probably group those 3 horses together as being, on an upward spiral, lightly raced, going through the grade. So, yeah, I think it's Ying Rising, Daylight, and then you've got a real clump of horses. So, yes, I think he can run top 3. Mark Zahra is too old to be going to Ibiza for a holiday. You told me to put this one in. Yay or nay?
This is so stupid. He's only 42. How are we saying he's too old to go to Ibiza?
I'm not saying that. It's a yay or nay. So you're nay?
Nay.
Yeah.
Absolutely nay. You could be whatever age. Like, he can go and enjoy himself. 42, you're not dead. He's still in the peak of his performance when he's a jockey. Why can't he go to Ibiza and enjoy a holiday?
I'm not saying he shouldn't.
It was a knock. It was a definite knock. It was an ageist yay or nay.
He made a quote after he won the Queen Anne saying that he was then off to Ibiza, and there were a couple of little comments saying he's a bit long in the tooth to be going to Ibiza. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm nay. I'm saying good on him. Going to Royal Ascot for one ride and winning a Group 1 is as good as it gets. I mean, any prize money he got from that win will be gone in the blink of an eye in Ibiza.
Yeah, exactly.
But it sure as hell beats riding benchmark 58 horses on the Ballarat Synthetic on a Monday or Tuesday. So
good on him.
Good on him. I would say Ibiza wouldn't be my first choice as a mid to late.
Where would your first choice be?
Just, the dad bod. I don't know if I'd want to be, by the poolside bar and whatnot. But look, I'd probably, if I rode a Group 1 at Royal Ascot, I'd probably head to Vegas, I think, for a few nights ahead of Ibiza.
I was going to the Greek islands, but
yeah, that'd be nice too.
Yeah.
But no, not too old. Go hard, Mark. Australia should have greater representation at Royal Ascot, yay or nay?
I say yay. I was actually a little bit disappointed to see how little representation we had this time around. I think we've had more in prior years, so I was
not much more, but yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of done after day 2.
Yep.
So a bit surprised to see we haven't got as much over there. But, we've got to be up to it, right? At the moment, I would say not a lot of trainers see as much incentive to go over there, and it's hard to get over there.
Yeah, yay from a fan perspective, but I can see why we don't have that many horses over there. It's there's a lot of costs involved and also a lot of risks involved. So as far as connections picked up, 750,000 for winning the King Charles last year. That's very good coin, but you really have to win to justify a trip. I mean, just looking at a couple of other, like comparing prize money, Jolly Star stayed in Australia and won 600,000 for winning the Kingsford Smith. Yellow Brick got 540,000 for running second in the Stratty. So it's not like you're flying all the way across the world for the lure of the prize money, because it's not astronomical.
I think this is one of the problems racing has right now, is everyone's getting lured by prize money.
Yeah. So
what
Royal
about
Ascot,
lured by the prestige of going to Ascot?
Yeah.
Like, have we forgotten what racing's all about?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I 100% agree with that. You're going to Royal Ascot for the prestige and the experience, and maybe something on the breeding page as well if you're a mare or a colt. But yeah, I do 100% agree with that. But it doesn't mean there aren't risks involved as well. Obviously, Black Caviar.
Yeah.
She got injured over there. It wasn't career threatening or anything, but
it's a long travel.
Yep.
And horses really do struggle to back up.
Yep.
Even just from here to Hong Kong, it's only 9 hours, but from here to the UK, you're talking anywhere from 17 to 24 hours of travel. It's a long time for a horse. And then give it a week or two to freshen up and find some form. It's tough.
Yep. I agree. And it's good on Henry Dwyer for going again with Asfura. Unfortunately, couldn't get the job done. But that is it from us this week. You've made it. Very well done.
Thank you, mate. I don't know how I made it, but I got there. Hopefully we give everyone a few good tips this week, and next week we come back and do it again.
Surely you're better next week.
Hopefully.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Been a week and a half now, so a little bit dodgy.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you also to our sponsors, Boombet. Great fixed odds, more value, more boom moments. Sign up today, get in on the boom. Give us a like or a follow on our various platforms, Punters YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram. Leave a review. You can tell Adam to have some strepsils or Codral or something. Good luck backing a winner or three this weekend. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.